High school sports are as popular as ever, but abusive behavior by parents is causing a growing number of officials to quit. And because of that, their children are paying the price. CBS New York Steve Overmeyer explains the impact of aggressive parents.
Way to go, girls!
Sports is meant to be fun, but some referees are arriving at their breaking point because of parents behaving badly.
The schools will walk you out with a security guard, and you try to park your car in areas where you know the fans aren't.
Is it dangerous being a ref?
It's more the emotional and the verbal abuse. Across
the tri-state area, the current crop of refs are aging out, and new ones are turning in their whistles. According to the National Federation of High Schools, 80% of new refs quit after 2 years because of abusive behavior from the stands and sidelines.
We would love to get players from the local schools to come and be officials. And they've outright told us, no, we don't want to be screamed at.
If one parent speaks out or one parent yells at an official, that maybe other parents start to see that as acceptable behavior.
In some places, it's leading to a shortage of refs and games canceled, which means the actions of parents are threatening to alter the landscape of sports.
We can't just plug a game and, hey, I want to play next Tuesday. We don't have officials to accommodate them.
Right now, Long Island is operating with about half of the referees and umpires needed. Aggressive parents may feel they are supporting their children, but it's the exact opposite.
JV girls basketball game, I call the travel, and the mother goes, that's a horrible call, ref, you stink, and the girl turns to her mother and goes, Mom, shut up, I traveled.
Ultimately, the price is being paid by the children because it's their parents who are embarrassing them in front of their friends.
Maybe we could do it by kids actually asking their parents, can you please just let me play this game without questioning every single call?
That's ridiculous. You haven't made a decent call yet.
Parents can yell, but it won't make a ref change his call. In Farmingdale, Long Island, Steve Overmeyer, CBSN New York.
And joining us here this morning is Dr. Robert Zayas. Thank you so much for being here. He's with the New York State Public High School Athletic Association. It's a nonprofit dedicated to safe competition for students. We heard you talk about it in the package, and you know, we're seeing this more and more, that there are such few referees that some games are now even being canceled, and we clearly see that they're going to face this abuse more often than not. So how are you then recruiting people to actually come aboard?
Well, I think the biggest thing that we highlight and promote for recruiting and retaining officials is that it's an opportunity for them to give back to the game that they played potentially in high school and college, and it's a way for them to stay involved and also to benefit student athletes throughout the state.
And we actually have a survey that you've provided us here from the National Association of Sports Officials found almost 60% of officials think sportsmanship is getting worse. 60% said parents and fans are causing the most problems, while only 8% blamed players, and the officials in the survey said most of the problems happened during youth sports before high school. How much actually falls on the school district to provide crowd control and security?
I think the school district plays a pivotal role in making sure that they enforce those policies to prevent officials from being harassed. But I think we also have to look at the fact that everybody has a role in youth sports and high school sports. Coaches coach, players play, officials officiate, and fans and spectators should be there to support and cheer on those student athletes. But the problem that we're seeing is there's so much more of an investment from parents today than there ever has been before. And what I mean by investment is not just time, but also now finances. Whereas maybe 20 years ago, parents weren't investing so much time in finances, and now today, instead of driving across town to a local community event, they're flying across 5-6 states, spending vacation time, and now as a result of that, they end up objecting to a call when maybe they wouldn't have had they not invested that amount of time into that event or
Sure.
into that student athlete's participation.
We saw that an out-of-state referee started a Facebook page posting clips of parents misbehaving during games. Do you believe that this almost shaming the fans is going to help improve that, or is social media making this entire thing worse?
I don't know if shaming the fans is going to help as much as athletic associations like ours promoting sportsmanship and making sure parents understand the misconception that their son or daughter is actually going to get a college scholarship. I think so much of the fan behavior that we see today is based upon that misconception that parents are actually led to believe that their son or daughter is going to get that full ride Division I college scholarship, when in all likelihood it's not going to happen.
Do you think there should be a code of conduct for fans?
I think it's something that we could certainly look into. We're a membership-driven association. We work on behalf of 600,000 student athletes in 800 schools in the state of New York, and I think that's something that we could certainly look into.
How do you feel as though you're going to go about getting these referees to join on? Because you're watching some of that footage. I mean, that's aggressive.
It is. And I think, as I said earlier, we have to do a better job, and we have to continue to promote the benefit that student athletes receive when they participate. And without officials, we can't have games. And I think our parents need to understand that, and our coaches need to understand that before they start harassing an official for a bad call. I had an opportunity to attend a basketball game in March and sat next to a gentleman that every single call that was made against his daughter's team, he objected to. And there's just no way that every single call can possibly go against his daughter's team, but that's the mindset that some parents are in, and they need to understand, without officials, we don't have games.
I know. I played sports, and my mother was always loud in the stands, but I'm happy to tell you that she never raced down onto the court and took out an official. It's something we need to think about. It's a good balance for both. Thank you so much for being here. And
thank you.
We wish you success, because that's the last thing we would want to see is any type of sports go away because there aren't refs to officiate.
Most certainly.